I love wedding dresses. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be a designer who designs ball gowns, and wedding dresses are the most prettiest and the happiest dresses of all. That's why I'm also interested in haute couture embroidery and ended up taking class at UAL 2 years ago. But I've never actually made one before until one of my best friends got married. Seeing her in gorgeous white wedding dress made me want to get married made me want to make a wedding dress for myself. And then my sister got married. She and I have completely different styles. She likes it cute and simple, and I like anything extravaganza. For example, these are my nails and shoes on her wedding day. I like them sparkle and extra, and yes, I took this video in the middle of wedding mass because it was extremely boring. No offense, Jesus. When she was selecting her dress, I saw a lot of different designs. I liked the dress she picked, and it looked not that difficult to make, but it was not my style, so after browsing my favorite brands, I found this dress that I like. It's not that extravaganza, but not that boring, and also it looks makeable with simple fabric I can find. So I had 11 yards of white tulle fabric already. So first I changed it to gathering presser foot and set the tension at 9 and stitch length to 5. And started to gather tulle for the bottom part of the dress. Oh my god, guys, look. This is the 11 yards of fabric. I need to order more. And while I was waiting for more fabric, it snowed. I've been waiting for this snow for so long so I can use this bad boy. So I made snow dogs in front of our apartment alone because my nana refused to go out with me. Look at these cuties! And this is the photo of survived ducks after 48 hours. And while I was still waiting for fabric to come, I went to my friend's housewarming party. 하나, 둘, 셋, 짠! At that time, gathering with more than 5 people was not allowed, so my friend's husband stayed at his parents' house, and 4 of us ordered tons of food and drank wine and talked about things that we can't talk when her husband is around. And this afternoon tea dessert tray was one of my gifts. How cute it is! I ordered some macaroons and decorated with them with strawberries, and it turned out super cute. And it snowed again, so I made sweet pumpkin soup. It's really easy to make. You need milk, cooked sweet pumpkin, 2 spoons of sugar, and a slice of cheddar cheese, and stir it until the cheese melts, and that's it. It's one of my not many food I can cook, but it tastes really good.
오리 짹짹.
뭐야? 왜 안 돼? 뭐야? 더 세게 해야 되는 건가? 뭐야, 왜 이래? 실패야. 문이 안 뭉쳐져. 아, 이렇게 해가지고 살살해서 이렇게 하는 거구나? 아, 이제 알겠다. 자꾸 반쪽가리면 안 돼. 뭐야?
내가 한번 해볼게. 아이고. 됐는데?
I know it's hard to watch. They are so bad at making snow dogs. You need to use fresh snow, not the dense snow.
헐.
일단은.
완전 신기해.
And finally, the fabric came. So I used 12 yards to finish the bottom part of the skirt. And I cut the remaining fabric in 35 centimeter long. And with same tension and stitch length, I gathered it on both sides. Then I pinned the bottom part of the skirt on top of short part and sew them together. I didn't cut the extra fabric out so I can trim it later. An overlocked waistline. Moving on to cupped corset, I put my bra on my mannequin and drew the guideline with disappearing pencil and copied the line. After I finished copying the pattern, I added 2 centimeter width to the side so it fits on my body. I used basic cotton fabric for the outside and the chiffon for inside. And after I sew them all together, I cut out a necessary part from the bra so I can sew it in between of these patterns and mark the line and sew along the line so it won't move around. And I sew the inner fabric along the lines, making tunnels for cables to go in. I used 8mm cable and I didn't put the cables all the way up to the chest area because it already has underwire. Then using same method, I made back pattern and sew them with front side of the corset and put the cable on 2 sides as well. Then I changed it to button presser foot so I can make holes for ribbons. I tested on test fabric several times and adjusted the length of the buttonholes. Then I saw buttonholes along the guideline I drew. And I cut the remaining fabric in 50 cm long and gathered them on the center. And once it's gathered, I folded it in half and pinned it on top. And once it looked pretty, I saw the waistline and the bra on this line as well. Then I cut the remaining fabric in 25 cm long for off-shoulder ruffle and gathered them on the center and placed them along this line. I pinned the ruffle down so they won't go crazy and flip upward. And I used 7 yards of organza for inside skirt. I gathered it and sewed it to the waistline. And it'll look like this. And before I sewed the skirt to the top, I measured the length from this middle gathered line to the waistline and marked it to make sure it's even all around. Then I sewed the marked line and pinned it onto the top and sewed them together. And it's roughly looked like this. And I had to stop because my back was killing me. And I went to Iksan-dong with my friend to get some energy back. This day was the first day the cafe restrictions were lifted and it felt so good to be outside and go to cafe. Ooh. 화장실이야? 새다 새. 여기 너무 예쁘다. 밤 되면 더 예쁘겠다. 맛있겠다.
이거는 딸기 절임? 수플레랑 같이 먹으래.
친절한데? 오, 맛있겠다. 맛있겠다. 하나 떠도 돼?
응.
우와.
이거 뭐야?
진짜 뜨거워. 오. 마스크를 벗어야지. 먹어봐, 먹어봐. 빨리 벗고 먹어.
뭐야? 느낌이 좀.
짱 신기하지? 푹신한데 뭔가 겉부분은 딱딱해. 맛있지? 맛있지?
약간 핫케이크 같은데 달아.
오, 맛있어, 맛있어. 먹자, 먹자.
딸기가 들어있어.
나도 모르게 따라하고 있어.
물고기야. 카페 아니야? 여기 특이한 거 많이 팔아가지고 기억나. 이게 너무 이것 때문에 되게 유명하던데. 저기. After Iksan-dong, we went to Kyobo bookstore and I found the Chanel catwalk completed version and I absolutely loved it and ended up ordering online. It was around £50, so it was not that expensive. And I also saw this flower book. How cute it is! And this London photography book. Oh, I miss London so bad. I don't know when I'll be back and see my friends again. Then I got distracted by this oud music box or whatever these are. And they're expensive, but they're very cute. Bookstore has so many different cute things. Like, look at these dolls made out of alpaca wool. 너무 귀여워. 너무 부드러워. 이렇게 부드러울 수가 있나? 알파카를 손으로 만지는 느낌이야. 귀여워. 코알라. 전자노트.
이거 그거 같아. 어릴 때 왜 이렇게
아, 맞아.
지워지는 거 있잖아.
맞아. 봐봐. 번호를 그려볼게. 번호.
나 미키마우스 그릴 수 있어. 조개야?
다리는 모르겠다. Then we got hungry, so we had tteokbokki and kimbap for dinner and called it a day. Now for the final step, I need to make a shoulder waffle. These are the left fabrics I already made from this part. I just made a tunnel and put the elastic band through it, and pinned it onto the side and marked them with pen and sewed them to the top. Then I pinned the zipper to the back of the skirt and hand sew it using backstitch. And this is the result. Subscribe and hit the notification button for the next video. Then see you next time. Bye!